knows? Perhaps there's only one man watching, and that's the most likely outcome of this unfortunate set of circumstances. So today we are playing Europa Universalis 4, which is 4 times better than the first Europa Universalis, or at least I can only imagine, although at the hefty price of well over $360, I'm sure you were getting more bang for your buck with the first one. Never played it. Never needed to. Today we are going to be playing as Ayutthaya, a country in southern Asia. Real close to that there Ming, but luckily Ming will leave us alone because we're a tributary state of them. That's good for us in some ways, mostly because we're not going to just get devoured whole, not vored immediately. Today I want to work on the achievement White Elephant, which requires us to conquer the entirety of the Indochina region and Burma region as Ayutthaya. So I've given this a couple of tries already. The main issue early on is Lanzang here. They're the biggest country in the area. It's going to give you a lot of problems, and they often seem to ally up here with Pegu, but we're not going to allow for any of that. And unfortunately, if you let Malacca go unkept for too long, they seem to just devour this entire island and then just start going northwards, which is a problem for you. So you can't just ignore the islands to the south here. And the other issue with this achievement, from what I've gotten from some playtesting here and there, is India starts off as a whole hot mess of lone city-states here and there, but Bengal and Bahamanis will just blob up by like 1600s, and Bengal has a single province here that just happens to be in the Burma region, so we have to get to war with Bengal before they're able to blob up too much and become a huge threat to us. And I think the only other threat we would have to worry about in the late game at that point would be European countries hopping over to Asia with nothing better to do than harass Asian men. Because God, does that happen. I think the furthest run I had was interrupted by Spaniards that just got lost in the spice region of the world. Very unfortunate for Ayutthaya. So I think that's enough foreplay. We're going to get right into this. Ayutthaya Y. I still got like 4 backups of this. One of those was Ayutthaya What, which was not an attempt at this achievement per se, but it was the Jade, whatchamacallit. Land of Eastern Jade. Oh, that's the one. So, let's adjust the volume a little bit. That was just play as a Buddhist country and colonize a province in Mexico, which wasn't really hard to do. I just did that as Ayutthaya. And that one, did I choose the wrong nation, or what do we got here? I think we're already off to a bad start. I chose Bengal. I clicked on that because I'm drunk. Well, we're off to a great start with this. I got excited and clicked on Bengal. Steak, if you're watching, I'm sorry. If you're not, I'm not sorry. There is no Bobs. I mean, on the bright side, we caught my failure early on, and now we get to see this guy with the real swooed hips. I mean, just look at the muscularity on that fella. He's just basically screaming 2 fingers. 2 fingers. It's like a portrait. Such elegance! Phantom said he'd be here too to support me, but I don't think he will be. Especially after I just ruined the entire stream in the first 5 minutes. It was very sad. Just making sure I'm clicking on all the right stuff this time. I feel like I'm still gonna mess something up. Okay. This time we're actually playing as the right country. That's a good first step. So, the first thing you gotta do in these games is you gotta declare your rivals. And I'm gonna choose Pegu. Oh, I can't choose Pegu. I will be able to choose Pegu, I just can't do it yet. So, I'm gonna go with Lanzang because they end up being a bag of warbling cargo martles. There we go, Pegu shows up now, and Khmer because they're also touching me. So I got this red boy, this green boy, and this light green boy as my rivals. And the first thing we're going to start doing after that is building a spy network in Pegu and a spy network in Khmer. And this will allow us to create claims on their land. While this is going on, I'm going to make sure my king is leading these armies because he's a very competent military leader. Although I think the Ayutthaya leader starts off at like an old age and just dies really quick. How do I... Yeah, age 72. So he's an old geezer, very competent. He's got 2 stars here, but he will die probably halfway through the first war, maybe even sooner. I'd say we're lucky if he lives to the end of the first war. And I'm going to have him start army drilling so that when we go to the first war, we're going to have a slight advantage against our enemies by military drilling. And I'm going to go ahead and build a couple of infantry and some horsemen, just because we truly need to, these guys. Opinion-wise, it seems like everyone's mostly neutral to me except for my vassals. I'm going to see if Champa would be interested in a possible alliance, because if we can build them up to an alliance, that would be pretty good, because we can promise them land when going to war with Khmer, and then just not give them land and backstab them eventually, as all nations do. So now that I have everything set up, I think I'm going to unpause the game and just let this fly loose and see what happens. Oh boy. My favorite thing about all the Paradox Interactive games is you just stare at a map until something happens, you know? And I think that's beautiful. And this is the only downside of being a vassal to Ming, is they demand yearly tribute. I mean, this is only 3 gold. That's not a big deal. Champ of my balls. 4 sham stack. So I'm gonna have all these soldiers group up in the capital so they can also join the king in his drilling. So by drilling this army, they will slowly fill this meter here, which will give them passive benefits as listed. They get additional land fire, shock damage, and resistance to both of those, as well as increased movement speed. And this is such a small, like, modifier at this point that it's not really going to make or break us in this war, but it is the slightest advantage that if the dice aren't in our favor, it might win us a battle. Also, the main reason I like drilling so much is you'll slowly start to fill up your army professionalism, and if you hit these tiers here, you're going to unlock new abilities. Like at the 20% mark, you can start building supply depots, which increases the max amount of soldiers you can have on a province before attrition sets in for them. Bad supply, you know, Asian land wars, am I right? The year falls ill. I'm not even going to try pronouncing it. I'm going to try pronouncing it. That's Trailconat. Trailconat. Breathes heavily. He has been lying in bed for 3 days now, and reflected in the beads of sweat on his forehead is a fear in his attendant's eyes for Trailconat's life. Trailconat may not make it through the night unless something is done. Well, I could pay money and get a doctor to fix him. Or I could just pray for him. Let's see here. Is my son even good? Is he a good leader? Can I count? Ooh, he's got pretty good administrative skills. You know, I'll send for that Medicus. He died anyway. How unfortunate. Okay. God damn it. So I'm gonna fabricate a claim on mole mine. Mole mine, that's where they mine their moles. And I'm gonna fabricate a claim on Weedong. Yeah, Weedong. Weedong, bruh. Weedong. And see, this is what I expected too. Lanzang almost always allies with Pegu. I have only seen one game where they didn't do that. So this is going as according to plan. And interestingly, Khmer is only allied with Lana and Arakan. Usually they ally with Dai Viet, and since they didn't, that's pretty good for us. In fact, Dai Viet wants an alliance with us. Khmer, ooh, Khmer has them as a rival. That's why. So Khmer is not going to get Dai Viet as an ally. If I can get Champa on my balls in this war as my ally and promise him land and then just not give him land, I mean, I'm guaranteed to win the first war. That's awesome. I don't want to lose any administrative power at this point, so we'll just take a local autonomy on that option. I almost want to take Dai Viet as a ally, but... So, Dai Viet considers everyone around them a rival too. So if I don't ally them, I think they're just going to get consumed alive by Lanzang. I almost want to ally Dai Viet just because they might join the war too, but also because I don't want Lanzang to just like expand that way. I want Lanzang to be out of any wars for the longest time possible just so they aren't expanding, you know? So I'm just going to go ahead and accept this alliance offer, and I'm going to start improving relations with them. So I might be able to drag them into a war. You know, I've never streamed a strategy game before because I figured like I'd get bored. I feel like it'd be boring, but now that I'm actually doing it and I'm explaining everything and why I'm doing it and stuff, it's not too bad. Ooh, that's a good heir. Do you have a name for him? Do you want to name my son? I think it's my son. Yeah, he shall be called. Why is my wife's name Panja Pipi? Papi. Steak. Name my son. He shall be called heir name. Peter. Is that the best Asian name you've got? Checks out. Peter, where are you going with it? The succession is safe. Now we go check this, and we got Queen Panjay Papi and my heir Peter Sanjay. Fucking what the hell is that last name? Oh lord. He's already named, it's too late, but maybe my next son will be Sasuke. Speaking of, that... I'm gonna go ahead and bump my... I'm gonna set military as my focus, because that will be another thing that's gonna help out in these wars. If I can get a technological advantage, of course, I'm going to be able to consume them. I'm going to try not thinking too far ahead on ear names, because I think the Asian countries actually allow for female leaders, so there is a chance I might have a queen at some point, so if I just come up with a bunch of male names, that's going to be an issue. I'm going to stop drilling with these soldiers for a little bit just because my vassal is being consumed by a pretender revolt. So, once morale's high enough. Okay, maybe one more month. Okay. Okay. In fact, I'm not going to have him go back to drilling. I'm just going to fabricate claims on Angor. Stop building spy network. Who are your allies again? Lana, Khmer, and Arakan. So, ideally for this war, I'm going to want to conquer Lana and make them into a vassal, because that's going to give me just one more dog on a leash of like 6,000 soldiers I'll be able to sick on my enemies, and that's just great for me. I'll probably be able to take Angkor and Wedong from Khmer, and for the most part, I think I'm just going to be taking Arakan's gold, if anything. I'll probably send some ships over there to blockade it in the first parts of the war, but I think that's pretty much what we're going to work towards. Plight of Ratchaburi. A representative of the farmers of Ratchaburi arrived in Ayutthaya today, imploring Brachmaracha II to help expand and maintain the irrigation system of the province. Oh my god, that's a great name. Beror Maracha. The local population is growing and claiming new land at a speed that the current infrastructure does not support. The representative also asked that the state supply food to those who need it in the meantime. While this project would have few downsides besides the cost, there are currently no plans to improve that particular region, and doing so in reasonable time will likely be quite expensive. So, La Cucaracha. I like him. I think, because I'm going to start declaring wars as a Buddhist nation, I'm just going to take the plus 10 karma now. Because as you declare wars, it lowers your karma, and you kind of want to keep that in the middle to maintain the best benefits. That whole karmic retribution thing. So, let's position our troops on the border here of Lana. We got our fleets going around right now. Somewhere in the Spice region. There they are. I could get them an admiral, but I just don't feel like it. I don't think they deserve it. We had a new viewer for a little bit, but they left already. I think I offended them with my voice. So, let's do this then. We're going to declare war. Champa doesn't even want to come. That's interesting. Why? What if I promise you land, Champa? Does not want any Khmer land that Ayutthaya has claimed. That's interesting. So I'm going to get into a war with Lana. Oof. I might have to hold off on this. Well, you never invite me to your streams, to be fair. Whew. Well, this is a tough one. I don't know if I want to go to war yet because, let's see here, that's 6,000 soldiers that are going to be coming from here. I should be able to take out these 6,000 immediately, so that leaves 11,000 left. They're just going to go unchecked for a little bit. I think if my vassals stack up, we should be able to deal with that, but that's still a lot of forces that are just going to go unchecked for a while. So it might be for the best to hold off on the war just for a little bit. I don't know, man. This is the first time Champa doesn't want any land from their next door neighbor. So, supply limit 18. I'm just gonna hop over here real quick and continue drilling. It's entirely possible that Champa has just not made any claims yet on Khmer. which is really weird because that's the only person they could claim on besides Lan Zhang. And Dai Viet's just claiming on Champa. Champa's got a reconquest against Dai Viet. Well, this game's great. Any game that you have to stare at maps is great. Except for Hearts of Iron 4. I don't know, man. I don't think Champa wants any Khmer this game. So that just sucks for us. That just really sucks. Alright, so vassals, where are you at? I need you to... Yeah, stick close to allies and avoid an event. Yeah, please do that. I need you to be supportive. And we'll switch that over to siege after the war actually begins. Let's call you back from here, and let's go ahead and get this war going. So, we will go for take Angkor, because that's going to be a lot easier. And then... these guys are joining. We're gonna kill them while they're still sitting there. Which vassal is this? Suck it all? Sukhoi Thai? You know, we might just switch these guys over to be siege mode, so they'll just like besiege these provinces for me. Because I can't just let Khmer go unchecked for too long. Otherwise they're just going to eat all my land. On the bright side, it does look like Arakan just will not be sending any troops at all. Also, there's like a game of gay chicken going on right here. They keep almost having a, like, you see this? They keep trying to march to the same tile, then realize that there's going to be an engagement there, and then they both cancel, and then they both go, and then they both cancel, and they both go. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. It is like Nepal. Okay, let's just fucking dive these guys headlong. We outnumber them by 4,000. We have a much more prominent general. They should just get completely decimated. And that looks like what's going to happen here. Their morale is just being shaken to the core. The Battle of Wedong. 666 war score. We gained 3 army tradition and 4.5 prestige. Now, the most important thing to do at this... Oh, I think I shattered their entire army. That's amazing. So what I'm going to do at this point, since their entire army is shattered, is just conquer, just spread out and conquer every single province. Because once this is done, they... Wow. They won't be able to build any more troops after this, more or less, because all their provinces are going to be occupied. Typically, in like bigger conflicts, you'll never want to do this. It's a very risky move because now your armies are like so spread thin that like a 5k stack could just come in here and just whap, 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 whap. But since we want to besiege all these provinces at once, get you over Wedong. And this is also just going to make his war exhaustion just skyrocket. Let's see here. Hope there's enough soldiers to actually begin a siege. There is, that's good. Once these guys are done over here, I'm gonna... Oh, looks like they have enough for a siege. That guy finally backed out of the gay chicken. Didn't think I was gonna be using that phrase today. The only tricky part about this is I do need Ericon to commit to a white peace, I think. Maybe not, we'll see. But as it stands right now... Wait, really? I only need that many? Okay. Let's take that 6 stack and split that in half. Okay, maybe split it a little bit more. See, this percentage number next to the fleets is how many of the ports are actually blockading. I want these both to be at 100%, because what that's going to do is it's going to drive up their war exhaustion over time. I mean, it's already going up because most of their ports are blockaded, but as their war exhaustion rises, they're more likely to just accept a peace offer. And that's what we're going for at this point, because I don't want to fight him, and he doesn't really want to fight us, so we're going to force him out of the war just by exhausting him by constant blockade. Okay, with that done, I'm going to send him up here, because I do think he has siege ranks he does, so that's going to speed up the siege on Lan'an. Very good. Head back down to Khmer. Lan'an wants a peace offer. We're going to decline that for now, unless they're actually willing to become my vassal. They are, okay. And this is going to give us a huge amount of aggression, what is it, aggressive expansion. Basically, what the aggressive expansion thing is, it's a penalty for expanding too quickly. So what we're going to look at is the coalition map mode, and all these, normally everything's going to be grayed out like this. Like these are all like maybe, yeah, -3 from aggressive expansion, but like this one, it's a little redder, is going to be -41. As your aggressive expansion rises, these nations are more likely to form a coalition against you, and they can use a coalition war, casus belli, against you, which is all those nations go to war with you. Luckily, from my experiments with this achievement, it doesn't look like anyone will join a coalition against you except for like Lan Xang. So long as you're able to like... You could be pretty aggressive in expanding early on, you just have to be careful about it, just not go too far. And if you could keep everyone at positive relations with you, they also won't want to start a war, or they won't join a coalition if they're at positive relations. So we're going to do some mild damage control here while the war's still going on, and just make sure that these nations, these smaller nations here that might be inclined to go against us, are not going to join that coalition. Because that's probably going to be the only threat to us at this point. Because Lan Xang, I think we've completely destroyed Lan Xang at this point. They can't go to Daiviet. They can't engage Daiviet without going to war with me and all 3 of my vassals. They can't go to war with Champa without going to war with me and my 3 vassals. They could go to war with Khmer. I think that's their only valid option. They can't go to war with Lan'an because that's my vassal, and these 2 are their allies, so they have no means to expand without causing a huge war. So that's got them choked off pretty good. Pegu has the option to expand north, it looks like. That's okay, I don't really care about Pegu. Oh, my vassals are just going ham, apparently. Good for them. They're going to conquer this. Maybe we'll get some gold out of this war, too. Okay. So I have no diplomats to send. Okay. Sue for peace. Actually, let's wait for that naval battle to finish. There we go. A little bit extra. So we're going to demand all your money, 80 ducats, and war reparations. So they're going to keep paying us for another 10 years after this. Very good. And that means the only one left in this war is Khmer. So once our diplomat gets back home, we're going to make claims on Angkor and Wedong. And this should force a couple of nations into a coalition against us. It's going to be Lanzang, Khmer, Mong Mao, Hispai, Mong Mai. Okay, so Mong Mao, Hispai, and Mong Nai. Let's see who that is. Because Mong Pai, I think I was already improving relations with, but they still might be a little upset. In fact, let's see what we got here. They're at 25 right now, so they might not join the coalition. I'll have to do a little bit of damage control out there. Hesweni, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Hesweni. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's offending me. That was on the list of possible to join, or Hispa, and Mong Mao, which currently is at -13, so they might actually join against us. Mong Pao, where's Mong Pao? Mong Yang. Oh, that was Mong Mao. Okay, Mong Mao, Hispa. Just making sure I got this. Mong Mao, Hispa, and Mong Nai. Okay, so long as I can just get diplomats out to those guys really quick, I think we'll be okay with being this aggressive. So we'll take Angkor, Khmer, and because they are a rival and we want to maximize our power projection up here, we're just going to go ahead and humiliate them. We're going to have war reparations, so they're going to keep paying us, and we're going to take all their gold, because that's just how we roll. Send them ads. Perfect. I should probably continue relation improvement with these guys, but right now I can't afford it because I just pissed off everyone with very aggressive expansion. So we're going to send out diplomats to Mong Nai. We're going to send out diplomats to Hispa. We're going to look into advisors. If there's a diplomatic advisor who has improved relations, it's expensive, but I think we're going to take that now because we can really use the improved relations. At the end of the war, these lands are not considered part of our country yet, so we still have to make them into cores, so we're going to start doing that. It's going to cost a little bit of our administration points, but that's alright. And then we're going to immediately start drilling again, because why not? Link our fleet's on the way home. Yep, very good. Hispa did enter the military coalition against us. They are the first. This could get interesting. Okay, Lanzang was expected. That doesn't concern me too much. These guys were working on S20. There's Mong Mao. So now that these guys are in positive relations, they should consider leaving the coalition against me. I think once they join the coalition, you might have to get the relations up to 40 before they leave, but we'll see. Khmer is no longer a valid rival. Damn right. So it's been less than a decade and we've already eclipsed one of our rivals. So this is going quite well. Dai Viet wants a royal marriage. Dai Viet can go home. Not about that life. And there it is! Our king died, as promised. But I'm honestly surprised he lived through the First War. Good for him. So upon the death of the first king, we're able to make the national decision of monastic education, which more missionary strength is always nice because we're going to have to do some conversion. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to need a new general. So we're going to... Oh. All right, Ming sent us one at some point, so I guess we already have a general. Very good. So all things considered, the map's only slightly red. We have a looming disaster, the Peasants' War. Once our administrative power gets a little higher, we're going to be able to stabilize our country and prevent that from happening. Because we really don't want to have a disaster. Let's boost that up. I kind of want to hire an administrative advisor when I can afford it. In fact, where's our inflation at? 1.19%. Impressive. Okay, let's get a yearly inflation reduction. That'll be helpful. So, I think with these... I think I might be able to fire this guy soon now to get rid of the relation improving benefits. Because this coalition should start falling apart. I don't think I have to worry about that war. I don't have the administrative power to ignore that. Hey, there is 2 viewers. Hi, welcome to the stream. This is a first. Oh, and they're gone already. You chased off my only potential subscriber in 10-mile radius. You did. You ruined my hopes and dreams of being a professional Europa Universalis streamer. Easy come, easy go. So they might have changed the rules on how coalitions work, because usually these guys would have left already with how high our relations are. Because right now we've got them at 76 and they're friendly to me, and this one is 66 and friendly to me. Just to be safe, I'm going to start improving relations with Sweni. Mongnai is already... Mongnai likes me. Mongpai, they like me. I'm going to improve relations with Lana, because I, like, forcefully vassalize them, so they're not happy with me. And vassals who aren't cooperative might not be so useful in war, and I don't really want to go to... That defeats the purpose of having them, more or less. If they're not going to be cooperative, that defeats the purpose of having them as vassals. Okay, I'm going to boost my stability once more. That should get rid of the Peasants' War. Or, what do we need for this? Manpower needs to be at least 50%. Okay, so being at stability 1 will prevent it from progressing. But we only have 2,000 of our potential 15,000. So we're going to have to stay out of wars for a little bit. At stability 1 we can go with enforce our heritage, which will reduce our tolerance of heathens, but it will increase our missionary strength, which again, we don't really care because we're going to have to do some converting, especially if we go down to the islands, which we probably will do during this run, and just being able to convert those Sunni Muslims to Buddhism is going to make our lives a lot easier. Because, good lord. And I mean, look at this. Mathian, I'm going to have to convert all of them. I actually have to convert Angkor. What is this? Hindu? I gotta get these Hindus out of here. Okay, and then that's fine. That's fine. We're just gonna go with that. We're gonna be intolerant towards heathens. Cambodian separatists are coming up soon. Come at me, brother. This is the meme I told you about yesterday. There's the revolt. We're gonna go around because I know there's a river crossing right there and it's just gonna be stupid. But yeah, We can go ahead and import from Khmer. We'll gain some military power, and it'll like us a little bit more. Or we can decline them and gain some mercantilism. Which I think... I don't know if that's going to be very good for us. I mean, how much do we even make off of trading right now? Trade is 17.6% of our income. And mercantilism... more trade power and increased embargo efficiency. So you know what? We are going to say, no, we're not importing. We want more mercantilism. And we were at 17.6. And now we're at 17.4. So those 2 points of mercantilism actually lowered our trade income for the month. Let that be a lesson to you. Oh boy. I'm gonna start improving relations with you. I can start converting these guys, so let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead and fire Kyofana Isan, because we can't really afford him right now, and we're gonna be losing quite a bit of money with the conversion efforts. Meantime, let's continue with drilling, just because we can really use that professionalism. I'm surprised Khmer didn't actually join the coalition against me, considering how much of their land I took. Alright, now that Lan Zhang has left the coalition against us, we should be... we should see these other two drop out now that there's no major powers in the region to back them. And I don't think Lan Zhang really won that conflict, considering they'd be going to war with me, Lana, Ligor, Sukhothai, Champa, and Dai Viet. Like, that would have just been terrible for them. So let's take a look at the ledger. The ledger is everyone's favorite part of this game, and by everyone's favorite part, I mean probably just mine. So let's look at the army quality. Right now I have the most professional army in the world. Very good. That's why we start this early and we maintain it. Ava has the second most professional army in the world, which is interesting because I believe Ava is in the same power sphere as us. In fact, that's Ava right there. Hi there, Ava. So this is the home of the second most professional army in the world. As time goes on, we're probably going to see an increase in the Ottomans. They're far over here, which we don't know that. I mean, we know that as viewers, but the game characters don't know that. We have this beautiful mist known as Terra Incognita, which you have to remove through exploration or buying maps from other countries. So because we're an Asian country, this is the world as we know it. We know nothing about the Americas, we don't know about Europe. In fact, Australia is just south of here and we don't even know it. And that was actually really funny timing, because Terra Incognita in this little section just got removed, I think. It's a good time to talk about it. That worked out really nicely. Oh, look at this! So, right now, Lan Zhang is actually at war with Khmer. And of course Lan Zhang is going to smash them, but... that means Lan Zhang is at war with Arakan. And they actually have all three of their allies in this war too, even though it's an offensive war. I hate that the AI always does that. And if I start a war with them, it looks like Champa and Dai Viet don't even want to go in. It's very interesting. Champa has made actually no claims at all this game. They have made no claims on anyone. They just want to have this little corner to themselves. And that's okay. That's all they want. And Dai Viet They don't want anything from Lazang. They just want Champa. I hope that Lanzang doesn't take all of this land. I do need a connection to Champa so that I can start consuming them once I break off my alliance. And then I could just go into Dai Viet from there. And that means I'll have Lanzang just completely surrounded and can start eating them away. I have really high liberty desire from Lana, and Sukhothai even is considering. Wow. I'm going to send a diplomat out to Sukhothai just to make sure they remember who their masters are. I don't want anyone with too high of liberty desire. It's probably because they're almost as powerful as I am right now. They think they can get away with this, but they cannot. So from that war, Lanzang gained 2 provinces. Pegu got 1. Or maybe Pegu got 2. I think Pegu got 2. So... that's alright. So they're probably not going to have that much aggressive expansion against them, if any. Yeah, they're fine. The next conflict I'm going to look for is I might try to take all 4 of these provinces from Khmer, just to prevent Lanzang from gaining any further footholds in the land. If Champa doesn't start figuring out what they want in this world, I'm just going to cut ties with them and start devouring them. I have to be careful with that though, because if I cut ties too soon, Lanzang might just move in and consume them. We're way ahead on military tech right now. We just gotta upgrade infantry. So we're going to go ahead and pop those guys up to offensive Asian footmen. And we're going to chastise the landowner, because why not? In terms of technology, our neighbors are 4, 4, 4. We're the only one at 5 technology, military-wise. Yeah, even these guys, okay. So, with that being said, I'm going to change my focus to administration next time I can, which looks like it's going to be 1466. And once I can annex these vassals, I probably will, just so I can start moving down into this the island area, because, again, I don't want Malacca to blob up too much against me. Ooh, now this is a good event right here. I could go with reforms, and usually I do go with the reforms if I need the inflation reduction, which right now I don't really need it. Gaining 1 stability. Right now it costs 150 administrative power to gain stability. So that's basically the same as all the power gain I'd get from this, except it's just going to take administrative power. So we're going to cheese this a little bit, because I'm going to pop this once. So the next one would cost 200, and then I'm going to go ahead and ignore the reform ideas. And though that should have cost 200, it's only going to cost us nothing now. So we're at max stability. Very good for us. Stability is one of those things where you don't have to keep it high, but if you can maintain it at 2 or 3, you're going to be in a lot better situation. Like even, let's take a look at everyone around us. Lanzang's got +1 stability, they're +1 stability, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, everyone's +1. I'm +3, I'm the most stable. Ooh, Ming is +2. Even Ming, this good old blob of gloriousness, cannot be as stable as our great nation of Ayutthaya. Yeah, no one's even close. So, we're one of the most stable nations right now. And I believe stability increases our missionary strength, global trade power, foreign spy detection, national unrest goes down, more tax modifiers, yearly corruption goes down, institution spreads faster, which I think is a little bit silly because institutions just aren't going to spread that fast to begin with because we're so far away. Institutions is what's going to cuck us in the late game. Basically the way those work is an idea pops up somewhere and slowly starts making its way around town, but Renaissance starts somewhere in Europe, so by the time it gets out here, we're going to already have like a 100% tech penalty. We're just going to have to live with that, so that's not a whole reason why I would go with stability concerns. I mostly want to keep the national unrest down for when we keep conquering our neighbors. So now that things are a little more stable, I'm going to start building a spy network on Khmer again. The coalition should be, yeah, aggressive expansion is almost completely gone at this point. So we are looking alright. Ming wants us to spend 53 ducats. No. I'm sorry, China. I just don't have that kind of money right now, and even if I did, I don't think I would care to help you out that much. Whew. Oh well. There goes my vassal again, having an uprising of pretenders. I think that's the second time this game already. They're not having a whole lot of luck with that. Gonna wait for morale to get a little bit higher before we engage these guys. Just because we can. One more month, probably. Here we go. Now I'll send them right back down to Wedong where they can go back to drilling. Keep that professionalism up. In the meantime, how much does Lior like us? They're at 200. So I should be able to go ahead and annex them. We're just going to do that. And this should be real quick because I believe they have all cores, yeah. Quick and easy. And let's see here. What's my land force limit? I'm at my limit. I have a little bit too many ships, so we're going to get rid of some of these. We'll get rid of the cogs because we don't really need naval transport at this region. Hudong. Udong. Get rid of this. We're still going to be at a little bit of a deficit right now. So I guess I'll get rid of a couple of the troops. There we go, that fixes that. And then with them out of the picture, I guess we can keep improving relations with Sukhothai, but I don't know if I need to anymore. I think they both like me enough that they're not going to be whiny for now. So instead, I'm going to start fabricating claims over here, just to continue pressure on the peninsula. And I don't think these guys have any strong allies, and even if they do, they don't. Okay, they don't. I mean, Kedah doesn't. Who does this one have? So that one's allied with Pasai, which shouldn't be an issue because I think with my vassals' navies and my navies, we should be able to just blockade this land route or the canal passage right here, this red dotted line, which will prevent Pasai from even getting into this conflict. So, yeah, those two provinces should be free tanking, and that will allow us to expand freely down here. And you'll notice that these guys all have zero aggressive expansion because they're not too concerned about what's going on in Indochina. So once we take out Khmer, we can start moving down there, and these guys won't be upset by that, but these guys will, so we'll pretty much be able to just ping-pong between these two fronts and consistently expand outwards without gaining enough aggressive expansion that we're going to be the target of a big coalition. Or at least, that's the plan here. We'll see if it sticks to that, you know? Because I've tried this a few more times than I care to admit, but like I said at the start of this stream, like, I have a fairly good idea of what I want to do here. I know what my biggest adversaries are between Bengal and, ooh, this is new, Orissa. I don't think I've ever seen Orissa blob up this much. Usually Bengal ends up being the major power in this corner. It usually ends up being Janpur up here, Bahamanis in the southern, and then Bengal right over here. So Bengal might not be a huge threat. That's very cool. And alright, that looks good for us. There is a new boy. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Unless it's a new girl, in which case I'm sorry for my viewer being insensitive. And right now we're taking it a little bit slow because we did exhaust a lot of manpower in that first war. Like, we have a cap of 15,000. We're slowly letting that trickle back before we go really hard into another conflict. I think now that I have both of these claims on Khmer, though, we might be able to just slide right into a war. Because their only ally is Arakan, and Arakan's a single province over there. Like, I think my vassals can just go deal with that. No problem. So, that being said, I think we can go right ahead, and I'm going to wait for morale to rise up in my drilling unit, and then we're just going to go and start this war and hopefully end it really quickly. It also looks like we have a technology that we have not bought yet, so let's go ahead and do that. We got temples now. If we get enough gold out of this, we can start building some of those. And in 5 years, we can switch over to an administrative focus after so many years of being a military power. Whew. Okay, morale's looking good to me. We're gonna call spy back from here, and we're going to... Oh, right, we got a truce, that thing. That's the other reason we're keeping that. That was a long truce. Now I feel silly. Shoot, we might be able to just start a peninsula war over here before we even get into Khmer. Fabricate claims on Panini, fabricate claims on Kedah. Call back, call back. Got some technology. Let's go ahead and research that before it climbs too high due to institutions. We got 3 free diplomats, so we're going to go ahead and keep improving relations with our vassals so they don't get any ideas. Keep them loyal, keep them good. Okay, Kedah is allied with... Kedah is allied with Malacca. We're just gonna scout out the peninsula real quick and get a feel for how big their military might be. Looks like 7k. Oh, that's Patani. Are they at war? No, Patani's just lost. Okay. Malacca has 10,000 soldiers, so... I think if I just invade through here, if I knock out their army immediately, we should pretty much be set. Just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and set my vassals to supportive, so they'll just come up behind me. That way we can stack up. No more allies, right? Just Malacca? Okay. So let's just go ahead and start this war with Kedah. Gotta slow down the speed just a little bit so we can keep track of all this. Alright, we managed to catch them. They're purged. It looks like they're going in for the fight, even though they're horribly outnumbered. Malacca gets slaughtered. My vassals should be coming. Nope, they're just sitting around. Bless their hearts. I feel like the We're gonna raise. Maybe I shouldn't. Nah, screw it. We're gonna do it. Raise war taxes just because we're a little low on funds right now, and I don't really want to take out a loan. I think there's some functionality broken with the support of AI, because in a couple of my earlier games, they weren't really showing up. Right now, I think these guys might just not be moving because their morale is low. So maybe next month they'll start joining the conflict, but if not that, I think supportive is just broken. So we're going to try turning that off and seeing if they start doing something. Maybe they just really don't care about this war. They might just not care about the war. Alright, there's that loan I didn't really want. Oh well. What's the point of having vassals if they don't do anything? These guys are just building up an army. I guess they'll be ready for the next war. Alright. Siege of Kedah is over. Start moving into the Malacca territory. I think Malacca ended up at war with Pasai, or someone. I don't know where their army went. Looks like they're just in conflict with me. My fleet's currently getting just completely destroyed now. The Malaccan fleet came, so we're just gonna retreat because I don't want this. Dare I cut them off? I think I could do it. They definitely don't want it. We're gonna wait until they're locked into that movement and then try cutting them off. Okay. And here we go. Here we go. Now my vassals are showing up. Now we have the numbers advantage. Fantastic. That's what I was waiting for. Very good. Yeah, we're not going to be able to chase because this fort's denying movement. So we're just going to besiege that for the time being. I'm going to keep an eye on these troops because if they try going north again, I'm just going to cut them off. Just going to make sure, and they're locked into that movement. Very good. Bada bing, bada bang. That actually destroyed their entire unit. Fantastic. Unfortunately, the Malacca fleet is much larger than my own, so I'm not going to be able to fight them too much in the oceans. I'm going to see if I can get a decent admiral here. I might be able to cut off some of their ships here and there. Yep, there we go. That's a win. Looks like we got some stragglers slipping through, so I'm going to deal with those. There goes my dog going ham in the background, so... He probably saw a squirrel or something. Okay, we should be able to cut them off in China. China. Very good. So this looks like a pretty good win for us. And I think they're just going to send us even more lambs to the slaughter. Sometimes the AI in this game is just really stupid. Like the fact that they keep slipping by 2,000 right here into the same kill trap is just beyond me. I'm going to start spreading out our soldiers and capturing just everything at once. And that's pretty much it. I should be able to take some land here and not get any aggressive penalties. Like I said earlier, because Indochina don't care about these islands, and these islands don't really care about Indochina. Ideally, I would like to get as much gold as possible here too, because we did spend a lot of money in this conflict. So we're going to take some more reparations. We'll take para... Oh, they don't want to give it. Why is that? Demands exceed war score. Well, we'll see if that continues after we take your capital. We've also been gaining a little bit of war exhaustion because of all the blockades on our own ports, but... Is mitosis stupid? I don't think that's a thing. I mean, I suppose it could be. I always find it a little funny when the AI decides to blockade their own conquered ports. I don't know, that humors me a bit. They're pretty much just making their own people suffer even more. I do want to send my fleet over there to blockade, but they've got way too many ships waiting, and I don't want to lose any more ships. We've already paid the ultimate price. Speaking of coalitions, though, it looks like almost everyone except for Lanzang has forgot about it, so we should be good to go with that Khmer conflict as soon as this is over. I mean, my manpower is just devastated, but should be fine. I got my vassals to do the heavy lifting. That's why we keep them. Okay, there it is. So we have 100% war score now, so they shouldn't be able to complain about us taking their land. I do kind of want to take that. What are we looking at? Malacca and Lanzang will go... They'll join a coalition against us. Lanzang is always upset, though. And Malacca joining a coalition doesn't really matter. I mean, I could just take a bunch of the small provinces. What are we looking at? 38. That's 54. Why is this one so valuable? Is that like a trade center or something? It's not even. It's not a fort. There's no... whatever. Well, I want this just because it has the fort. I think we're going to do that. Hello and welcome to the stream, where white elephants are doing things in Malacca. Very unfortunate things. You know what, we're just going to go with this. I like this. We got the war reparations, we got our gold. Yep, that looks good to me. Send demands. And we'll go ahead and sue for peace. Give me your land, give me your money. I suppose I could vassalize this one and just absorb them later on. We'll just do it. We're talking pretty unfortunate. We've got the full-on Asian conquest going here. And it's not even the good part of Asia, it's southern Asia, so... Oop, going too far up. We got Ming doing Ming things. Korea, 10 out of 10. Japan, killing each other. I hope that Shiba wins the war, but it's not looking great for them. I would love to see a Shiba united Japan. Keep an eye on that. It looks like Usagi is gonna win the conflict, or possibly Yuichi. Oda is just getting smashed. Rip Nobunaga. Alright, so where are we looking at with the coalition? Everyone's upset again. Fantastic. Does Pasai even consider... Oh, Pasai's actually friendly to me. Huh. Well, I'm gonna send out some diplomats down here to, like, amend things a little bit after that last conflict. We're gonna go ahead and core all this that we just claimed. I think we might just let Khmer be its own thing for now, because Lanzang is just being upset about everything. I just don't want to take too long and let them take all of Khmer. Patani has joined a military coalition against us. Worrisome. Worrisome. Who the heck is Patani? Oh. Oh. This guy. This guy I was going to conquer anyway. This 7,000 soldiers on a small slab of land. This is the one who wants to join a coalition against me. You think this will save you? No. This only reinforces my hatred, and I will consume you once the opportunity presents itself. The moment you leave this coalition will be the last year your country lives. But that is how it goes. Oh, Siek joined the military coalition against us. Very interesting. We've actually got a fairly big military coalition against us right now. I'm still not super concerned. The biggest issue here is that my manpower is low, but assuming my allies don't betray me, Dai Viet and Champa alone should be able to just consume Lanzang. I have 16,000 soldiers positioned here that are just going to completely devour Patani. And then... what is it? Siek and... yeah, Siek and Pasai. Those are the only two that might pose an issue. Mostly because of their navy. If I can build up some ships and maybe blockade them right here so they're not able to join the conflict, I'll just... you know, that's not a bad idea. Let's take a look at the ledger. The ledger, the best part of this game. I'm going to keep coming back to this because I absolutely love it. Massive L's. Massive losses. I'm honestly not even that great of a player. I'm mostly just streaming this because I enjoy the game. Willing to give out some tips though. Also trying to show this out to our... what's his face here? Naval, National Army, naval ships. Oh, that's silly. I don't want that. Naval, oh, navies. I'm silly. So, we're looking at Siak here. So Siak actually only has 13 ships, and 4 of those are transport ships. And Pasai, they've actually got a couple of heavy ships, which is kind of an issue. So Pasai, yeah, that's a lot of ships. I don't think even with my naval force limit I'm actually going to be able to outbuild them without taking some heavy losses income-wise for a little bit. We'll throw in a little bit and see if I can cut them off at some point. And yeah, that should be fine once we establish some states. And we got some military technology. That's always nice. Can't argue with that. Pump up the samurai. I have loans. Paid loans. We're going to lower military maintenance just for a little bit, just so we can start recuperating some of our losses. We're going to slow us down a little bit. Playing as France and at war with England, Portugal always jumps me. England and Portugal usually end up allying with each other. The hardest part to deal with England is probably their navy. And once they bring in Portugal, I mean, there's not really a chance for the French Navy to stop them unless you go hard on into like naval ideas and like really stock up on your navy. Really, your best bet as France is just like blobbing up as fast as you can without incurring massive aggressive expansion penalties against you. Like, I've kind of been watching this game, like this is the most I've had against me, but even now I'm trying to like keep relations steady so that they won't gang up on me. Early on France, like if you can get Brittany, Brittany into a vassalization with you, or, you know, just to eventually consume them diplomatically and just start conquering the small provinces around you, maybe even take Navarra from Castile or Aragon, whoever they happen to ally with, because that's just free territory. Your biggest land threat's going to be Burgundy, probably. But Burgundy is typically on bad terms with Austria, so just like you make sure to like fully utilize the map modes. Make sure you know who your enemies' enemies are. Like for example, I know that. I'm sorry, I'm flipping around here and just not being very useful. Like I know that Lan Xang is allied with these three, but opinion-wise, they're not liked by Dai Viet, they're not liked by Khmer, they're not liked by me, so I kind of figured out early on that the only places that they're going to be able to expand into is Khmer, because this is a vassal of mine, which would cause three-way war between Champa, Dai Viet, and me. These two are allies of him, so he can't expand up here. So I've taken my biggest threat and completely prevented them from expanding, except into Khmer, by looking into who their enemies are, looking into who their allies are, and just abusing that knowledge. And that's something you can definitely do with France, just like I said, Austria is typically a safe bet when going against Burgundy. It could get a little RNG awful if the King of Burgundy dies early game and Austria inherits all that land, because now you just have a massive Austria in the Holy Roman Empire who's stacked against you. That's never fun. But I do think France is definitely one of the more fun and powerful nations. Naval-wise, they will struggle against England, but they don't really have an issue spreading out land-wise in Europe. And if you can get into a conflict with Aragon and Castile and start slowly slipping into the Iberian Peninsula, totally take the opportunity, because that's going to be a lot easier than going into the Holy Roman Empire, because you're going to have all those city-states ganging up on you. Like, that's more of a mid-late game idea. If you have the chance, you can, naval-wise, start taking out England, because if you can get knocked them out of the game too, again, that's just going to make it a lot easier for you. Continuing on the same idea with the Iberian Peninsula, though, if you are able to get into Castile and you have a land route to Portugal, that's pretty much game for them. Even if they have a bigger navy than you, you're just going to be able to take all their provinces and force them to concede before they can even do anything in the war. If you're having issues army-wise, it might be an issue of development and possibly ideas, or just keeping up with military technology. It's hard to say, like a general answer to all the problems you might be having with that, but that's just like a few ideas that you might be able to work around with. And a lot of that applies with anyone, you know. Just always be watching who your enemies' enemies are, who their allies are, and kind of abuse that. Make sure you know who the most powerful person in your region is, and kind of work around that. Like, I understand that Lan Xang in this case is going to be a very powerful enemy. I'm not going to be able to attack them. I'm not going to be able to attack Pegu because that's an ally of them. I can keep poking down Khmer and start gaining power. I can start poking Malacca down and gaining power. I can start taking these little provinces here and there. And eventually, I'm going to be so powerful that even I can take on Lan Xang and Pegu at the same time. And that was another reason I actually ended up vassalizing Lan'an here, is I don't believe they're actually allied with Mong Pai, so now I can expand to Mong Pai, and I can expand into Hispa and Ava and Mong Zhuang. Like, I have so many options right now without ever having to go against the big bad in my region. I'm never in a conflict that's actually risky for me, so I'm going to be able to keep taking these small pieces until the one big conflict is now just a small piece to me, because I've set it up in such a way. And my son's name was PP Peter. He's actually currently the king because his father fell ill and died. That's how we're gonna end that discussion. Very educational, I'm sure. So how long have you been playing Europa Universalis, Mr. Croissant? Well, we had a good run. At least I was able to be very educational for a little bit. Or at least I think I was. States. You can make states. I control 4 of the 5 states here. Let's just go ahead and core all those. Now instead of those being territories, those are states. Very good. And that should be core territory soon. Rebel Uprising, Parakian Separatists. I'm gonna go ahead and hire Narayana Chumpan. Chumpan. -2 national unrest. And these guys are planning to rise up in Perak. Where is Perak? I believe that's the one right down here. So we're going to go ahead and bump our maintenance right back up. And see if Perak still wants to do this. They still want it. But Tani has left the military coalition against us. You know, I promised that I would consume them the second they did that, but there's still 3 big nations in that coalition against me, so we're gonna play a little slowly and wait for those to fizzle out before we just start claiming more. Get him out of here. In fact, that reminds me, I think because Khmer is no longer my rival, I do have to choose a new one, and the only valid rival for me is Bengal. And this is the first time I've actually seen Bengal have a smaller arm than me. Because again, I've never seen Orissa blob up this fast, so... That's very reassuring, because if this is eventually just a single Bengal province, that's going to make this achievement a lot easier. Basai has left the military coalition. Siak has left the military coalition, and now you look really stupid, Lanzang. Look at you. Always join the coalition, always trying to make a big deal about me conquering everyone and getting all upset, but you know what? You can't have it. Nobody wants to go to war with Ayutthaya. Nobody. Especially not Champa. Has Champa made demands yet? They have not. They have not. This is unheard of. They've made no claims on any land. I wonder if I can threaten these guys. Send warning. Do you wish to send a warning to Lanzang? This will call us to war if they attack one of their... Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So now I'm warning Lanzang, so if they do go to war with Khmer, I can actually intervene in that war against them. So this will work just as with Champa and Daviet. So I've more or less cut off Lanzang from having any means of expansion. And I think they're still allied with those two up there. So long as we're able to just maintain everything elsewhere, we should be good to go. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and mothball this fleet, because I can't actually afford anything right now. I'm just slowly slipping into poverty. I almost want to debase my currency. I could have just... I can't lower military maintenance right now, so we're just going to put this at like... I don't know, 20, negative 20, there we go. There it is, Perak. Very good. Next one's going to be Ligori Separatists, coming from Nakan Sea. Wow, that's a stupid name. I don't like it. And Thalang. So it's going to be those two over there. And this time my military is big enough that it should completely dissuade them from rising up at all. Yep, so they're just going to start shrinking. And then I have to worry about the Kada Separatists, which will be right here where we have the Missionary. And then we also have Malacca Separatists coming up in the future. It does look like we just gained 78 coins, so we're just going to go ahead and max this out, because I think I just accidentally took out a loan. Whoops. I definitely forgot to rename my ear there. My bad. Yeah, Mr. Fab will go next time. Once the Kada Separatists pop up, I think we might be able to stop worrying about... Ooh, here we go, purchasability. This is what I've been waiting for a little bit now. Justified Wars, aggressive expansion impact minus 10%. That's going to help us so much. It's a little late into the age of discovery, but it will do. I forgot a large city. Donna... How are we doing on tech? I mean, I want to get my first idea group soon, so maybe... Oh, gosh, it's right there. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and let that happen. Boop. Right in the nib. First military idea I really like to get for Ayutthaya is the quality ideas, quality memes. Because this is just going to give us passive benefits on pretty much all of our troops. 10% infantry power, 10% cavalry power. And also the really important bonus of 1 army tradition per year. That's going to prevent it from decaying so quickly, because right now we only have 23 army tradition. We're going to want to keep that at like 50 or higher whenever we can. So having passive gain and passive modifiers that reduce the losses is going to help us immensely. And also, once we finish this idea group and finish the innovation group, which is which I like to go into next, we're going to be able to get a policy that gives us 20% infantry combat bonus, which is going to be really useful for us, because mostly what we're going to be running is infantry, because we're not going to be rich enough to afford cannons and stuff like that, and we're going to be using cavalry to minimal effect. So just having a 20% passive bonus on infantry, even now, would basically make this a 20 stack, 21 stack almost. So that's like 3,000 extra troops in the field, effectively, just because of those combat bonuses. And that's not even including like the 10% passive bonus from quality ideas and so on and so on. So Pegu just went to war. Who did they go to war with? Pegu went to war with Khmer. I'll admit that was clever because my warning was issued to Lan Zhang and not to Pegu. Very good. I feel like I got counter-memed here. Perhaps I should have warned Pegu as well. Well, next time. Learn from your mistakes. Still waiting for these separatists to pop up, but they just don't want to. I like how we had like 6 viewers at one point and now we're back down to 3. I need to work on this. Steak, do I need to invest in an air horn? Do you think that would help? Yeah, an air horn, you know? Is that like how you get all the Twitch views? Is that how you expand your fan base? I'm fairly new to the concept. Either that or just like buying a flock of sheep. Just like fitting them into my room. I think that would make things a little bit more interesting. So Lan Zhang has done that thing I really didn't want them to do. Okay. I think coalitions have died down enough that we can start waging some war again. I think Pasai... Ooh, looks like they get an ally in Siak. Malacca is also allied with Siak. I don't really want to start another military conflict until this rebellion pops up. But holy cow, they are taking their sweet time, considering it said it was going to take 0.6 years on average. And there it goes. I've been waiting for this. Okay. And now... we're still losing money really quickly. I don't know what to do about that. It's like I could shrink my military, but I don't really want to at this point. Eh. And now we're making money again. The ebb and flow of this realm. Oh, they're allied with Champa. That makes sense, since Champa hasn't made any claims on them. Question is, does Champa want to go to war with me? Better yet, will you give me military access, Diviet? You will. That's because you're good people. I like you, Diviet. Malaccan separatists could eventually be an issue. I could try converting them to lower that, but... Nope, I can't even do it. Maybe if I make this into a state. So we got that. Nope, even with that, it's gonna take non-accepted culture, Sunni. Yes, P.P. Peter the First, they rule our nation and do for so many years. However, even the great are sometimes in need of help. Thankfully, the family has tied strong bonds to other great powers, such as Sufabibi, led by no other than Treknolat, Prince of Sukhothai. His gracious wife, Panjapapi, is a daughter of our own royal house and an invaluable contact. Perhaps we shall ask her if she can influence her husband to lend us a hand. Could gain some prestige by saying we don't need help. I kind of want to ask for money or more men for our army. Nah. See if he'll actually send some money. Yeah, it's alright, I guess. I don't know what I expected. I guess we could always do harsh treatment on these guys if they get too uppity during the war. So let's stop with mothballing here. Oh. Champani Separatist. Wow. You gonna just take that dive yet? Guess so. 10% infantry power. Slap that in. I gotta say, P.P. Peter is one of the worst military leaders. Only getting 3 a year. Have to do something about that. Are they just letting that happen? You guys have separatists in your country. I swear the AI is really stupid today. Oh well, I guess if this is what they want. Alright, our leader died. Can't afford a new one yet. And such the waiting game begins. Oh, that's a terrible general. Oh well, gotta live with it now. Missionary strength. I like that. I wonder if we got more military. No, we don't. Okay. Can I could start converting Pahang. Alright, let's do that. I'm gonna slap this fleet maintenance down too in the meantime. So I think once Pahang gets converted, that should get rid of any of the separatists for the time being. Because if we're the same religion, they won't be so whiny. So many Muslims in this area. I can't believe Diviet's just letting this happen. It's very sad. This is going to take a little bit too. Yeah, screw it, let's take some corruption. We could use it. Just declare bankruptcy, I guess. I don't think we're going to pay that loan back for a really long amount of time. Just have this guy continue to stab the air. That's how you become more professional. He's really into that, thrusting. Speaking of, how are we doing on that? We're tied for first on the most professional. Tied with the Mamluks. Oof. Should have known. Maybe I'll have to take religious ideas eventually. Just get stronger. Oh hey, someone actually did a good thing. I would love to get the state firearm regiments, but can't really afford those right now, so we're gonna have to hold off on that. Are these guys still just taking it? Yeah. Actually looks like they might be at war with someone. Or someone's very lost in their country at least. Hard to tell. I think this is the closest we've had to max manpower since the game began, so that's kind of exciting. Those guys are almost converted. I might be able to get some land out of Champa through this war too. I'd like to take Te Nguyen if I can, because they'll make a barrier between them and Lanzang, which will prevent them from further expansion out here for the time being. So they're done converting that region, which means good. There's no more Malaccan separatists. I'm going to start moving these guys over to Hugh. We had to renew our loan because we're a bunch of deadbeats. New general with 40 tradition, that could be good. We're still broke. We need to make some bank off this war. Let's see this general. Nope. Confirm yearly tribute. Can't believe I have to kill separatists for you, Diviet. You're so useless. Okay, let's get this war going. Oh, Diviet will actually come to this war. I would love to invite Champa, but I don't think they want to come, considering they're going to be killed. Looks good to me. Jesus Christ. Alright, let the debt keep coming. Actually, screw it. We're going to debase our currency a little bit here. We can take some corruption. I'd rather not have the loans. Okay. Have these guys go over here and repair a little bit, and then just begin sieging their provinces. Actually, most of these are almost already repaired, just these few. Yeah, that's probably fine. Alright, there's Khmer just being eaten alive by my vassals. I think they forgot to siege the one city that actually matters, though, so... Good for them, good for them. Khmer seems to be lost. Oh, they're doing that little awkward dance again over here. Where they want to move, but they don't really want to move. To think we would see that twice in one game, that's exciting. I like that. I'm just gonna watch this and pretend the rest of the war is going well. What the heck? Oh, he decided to back out. And now these 8,000 are just gonna kill those horse. Rip horse. Oh, never mind. Denied. Alright, Khmer's unbesieging their own provinces. Apparently, they randomly decided to conquer part of Lana. Good for them. I think the worst part about this achievement run so far is just how quickly you lose manpower. Like, I haven't fought any battles in this war yet, and I'm almost down 6,000 manpower. Just from, like, losses from sieging. And that kind of just really sucks. Okay. Should be able to get Champa to accept defeat. Might be able to get in there before the combat is lost. Very good. Once we take Tai Nguyen, we can push for peace. Cannot select this province because I cannot make it a core, so I'll have to do something like this. I suppose I could always force vassalize them too. How much aggressive expansion are we looking at? Champa and Malacca will join yes, Champa, my vassal, will join a coalition against me. I like it. So I think I might just vassalize them. I'm not super concerned about Malacca. They're pretty small at this point. They got screwed up. Alright, I'm just going to demand all your money and make you into a vassal then. That way I can just annex you later when I get bored. And we will push down here. I'm going to keep these over here. There's going to be a little naval combat. Start improving relations since you're probably upset about me annexing or vassalizing you, whatever, details. High liberty desire, of course. Khmer's fighting tooth and claw against 35,000 men, it seems. But it's not enough to save their beloved homeland. How are we doing opinion-wise? How many people are going to be horribly upset by this? I guess I could start improving relations up here just in case these guys get upset by the aggressive expansion. Just keep that low. I'm kind of wondering how screwed I'm gonna get by claiming all this at once. Let's just see. Let's see. What would this do? Lan Xang and Malacca would join a coalition against me. I'm kind of okay with that. I don't think the two of them could stop me at this point. I really don't think that's an issue. So let's just, we're going to take all that. These are all going to be cores. Bengal is no longer a valid rival. Very sad. Orissa, 5% larger army. Yeah, Orissa is just going to devour Bengal. I don't think they're going to be a threat late game. Assam is doing okay. No, they're not. Military leader's fallen ill. I just recruited that guy before this war. Oh my god, that one's even worse. I think I'm just going to kick him out immediately. Oh, that's the naval general the Chinese must have given me. I like that guy a lot. Holy cow. Okay, boot the other guy. And the nobility grant generalship, because they usually give me a good general. It's a lot better than a 1-1 guy. I'll take it. And I think we're already improving the relations over here. Good. Royal marriage from Lana. Sure, why not? I'll marry you, baby. Dai Viet's not going to be able to expand. Lan Xang should be stuck. I think we're looking pretty good right now. Looking pretty good. This actually gets a little interesting too, because once I absorb Lana and go for Mongpai, they're allied to Pegu, which means I'm going to be able to start taking some of Pegu's territory without calling Lan Xang into the war. Huh. I do want to see what I can do about Malacca. Wow, even Ming's getting a little orange. Minus 35 aggressive. Yeah, I guess I have been going a little ham recently. It's all for the greater of the empire, though. Those guys are still allied, allied, allied. Oh my gosh, everyone's allies. Buddy, buddy. I vassalize my ally because I'm a bad person. Who is Dai Viet even friends with at this point? Me. So I guess I could go to war with them soon because I'm their only ally. We'll see where that goes. I want to keep them around right for now because, again, they're just a barrier against Lan Xang. Lan Xang? There we go. I knew I'd get one of these days. Bahanamis is just blobbing up over in India. A lot of those smaller countries that once were aren't existing anymore. Orissa's probably going to control this half unless they get into a conflict with Jaunpur. Which I suppose could happen. They're not allies. Should be interesting to see where India goes. And I wonder if the Mamluks are going to get lost in Australia again, because that happened the other day. Come down from the Middle East. check in on the Japanese war. Okay, Usegi's kicking ass. I think Shiba's been completely conquered at this point, so Shiba Shiba just doesn't have a chance in this war. So unless someone can stop Usegi, Hosokawa might end up being the only competition I have. Yeah, sure, we can repay our loan. Just because that's been floating around forever. And we finally actually have enough money to do it. Because I'm always doing military drills. Because I need to have higher professionalism than the Mamluks. Because they taunt me. Oh, how they taunt me. So for right now, I can absorb Lanya. Oh, oops. Wasn't supposed to refuse that. Oh well, China's gonna be a little upset. They can live with it. How are we doing, China? They trust me. If I go to war with Mangpai, I have to go to war with Pegu. I don't really know how big their military is right now, so we're going to send our navy to go check out on that. It looks like they have 12,000 soldiers against our 18,000. But we're going to be bumped up to 24,000 once we absorb Lanya. And they've got 6,000, so that's 18,000, so we'll have them outnumbered. I think they're allied with Frome. So... Huh. Could work. If I go to war with Pegu, I want to make sure I conquer their capital, because that's going to make it much harder for them to pose a threat in future wars. Because that's a fortress right there, so they're not going to be able to get to the rest of the Indochina Peninsula without having to go through there. And the amount of time they'll spend besieging it will give me plenty of time to deal with whatever threats elsewhere. And I do kind of want to start going through Pegu soon, because then I can take this one Bengal province that happens to be in the Burma region. And then I won't have to worry about Indian conflicts. I'll just have to deal with Lanzang at some point. Yeah. So maybe a war with Pegu and Mangpai right now would be pretty good. So I'm going to start building a spy network here. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start building a spy network here. And we're just going to go ahead and annex you. And we're going to stop drilling here because I think we have a rebel uprising. We got separatists again for Perak, which we won't be able to deal with immediately. We lost our Casus Belli against Patani. That's okay. They're not doing any harm. Ah, screw it, I can afford it. A revolt. And then Parakian. Gonna give you some harsh treatment for the time being. And then we'll slowly start moving our military over there. This is going to be one of the more tedious parts of the game because I have these 3 provinces over here and the only way I can get out of them is via naval transport. So I'm going to have to eventually have a small conflict with Lanzang just so I can nab some of these land routes to the rest of my kingdom. And here we go, another idea group, very good. So that should unlock innovative ideas. Once I max out innovative ideas, I think I'm just going to go hardcore into military again, just to keep that throbbing benefit I had going. And yeah, man, fuck this, I do have money. What's the Pegu Navy look like? 6 transports and 1 heavy ship, okay. And I think that was 8 barks I just saw. That is 8 barks. Okay, so that's 8 light ships. So I think naval-wise, I have these guys completely outgunned. I could produce a couple more if I want to stay ahead, because I do have the money. The Pagan Navy. I do have the money, so I'm going to go ahead and build a couple more barks just to make sure I maintain the naval advantage against them. Because that's going to be important in the upcoming conflict. I am absorbing these guys right now, right? Yeah, it's just taking a little bit of time. And that should lower the liberty desire of Champa because relative power of my vassals will go down. So it has now been 40 years since the game began, and I think Ayutthaya is doing pretty darn good. I kind of want to see where we're going to be at the 50-year mark. I mean, we've completely vassalized Lanya. We have vassalized Champa. Khmer has been completely destroyed. I mean, this was our original boundary, that thick line there, so we've grabbed like 7 provinces down here. Yeah, for 40 years, this is looking pretty good. Because I think the 1600s is about the latest we can really take this. 1650s maybe, before Europeans start meddling with the Asian affairs and whatever else. So, rightful ownership. Get the feck out of here with that. Rightful ownership. I own this entire peninsula, baby. Royal marriage from Sukhothai. Sukhothai. Okay, we got claims on Pegu. I'm definitely going to want claims on Martaban. And Mulmine if I could get it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that in time. But at least this will give us a land route. And like I said, that's going to lock them off in Pegu in future conflicts. So it's good enough for me. New idea. Patron of the arts. 2 of a kind. No, we will just ask a theologian Narari Nod to work harder. Darn right. Give me that administrative benefits. Bring you all the way up here, and you can go back to drilling. Apparently I fulfilled a mission. What could this be? High income? That reminds me. Maybe I can work towards the decent allies one. But again, all my diplomats are busy right now. We'll have to come back to that idea. After this conflict with Pegu, we might be able to start pushing south again just to make sure Malacca or Pasai don't blob up too much. Really, cutting Malacca right in half is like set them back quite a bit. Also, they have some darn fine spy detection in Mongpai, because that's the second time my spy's been caught. We're getting to the point where I might even not, I might not take anything from Mongpai. I might just make all my claims on Pegu. Mamluks staying ahead. Good for them. There we go. I'm gonna take those 6,000, put them right down there. What is Battle for Bikini Bottom? I wish to know more. My younger brother used to play those a lot. I never really got into them. I don't know. This could be interesting again with Daviet. They're not stopping the Champani separatists, so my vassal might just get even thicker here. That's good for us. Chiang Mai gets benign intellect. Or benign intellect. Neglect. Oh my god, I can talk. Chiang Mai. This one up here. Yes. Good. Let's start taxing them more. Are you gonna battle for Bikini Bottom then? You're gonna stream it for me? Because apparently I don't watch your streams enough. I know it's very unfortunate. Ooh, General with +1 siege now, that's really good. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and make claims on Makmai. Very good. Again, they're only allied with Pegu and Prom. Oh, Ava's their overlord. Ava's been busy. Everyone around them is vassalized. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. So this is going to require a little bit different approach. How does that work? It's a tributary state. Okay. So Ava might defend them. Okay, this changes everything. I can't go with them. Oh no. Alright, I guess we're gonna just keep harassing people down in this peninsula for the time being. Now I just feel stupid. Start building spy networks on everyone at once. Can you not stream from your Switch? Because I was planning to stream Animal Crossing 2019 when it comes out, like 24/7 for an entire week, like non-stop Twitch stream. I was probably going to take off work, just like a whole week, and just do that. That's my vacation this year. That's the plan anyway. That's kind of really unfortunate. That ruins my entire spring. Assuming it comes out in spring. It's probably going to be much later in the year. It's probably going to be like November. I can't believe Ava's got this whole setup like this. This is crazy. They got Kale, Hispon, Prom, Tongu, Mungtai. I guess I could just start recording small pieces of Animal Crossing and just upload them over time. And just stream, like... just stream the video of it from my desktop. Yeah, that's something I could do. That's a workaround if I've ever heard one. Siak. So when I go to war for the single province, I'm going to be looking at a two-way conflict between... I've got Pasai and Sayak backing them up. Whereas if I go to war with these guys first... I think that might be our plan. We're going to go with Malacca first. Because then Sayak will get called in as an ally. And then through Sayak... Through Sayak, as an ally, we can have them break off all their diplomatic agreements. So they're not going to be allies with Patani anymore. Which means it'll just be Pasai defending Patani. And then we'll be able to take Patani, no problem. I think that's the idea I want to go with here. So we should be able to grab, like... hopefully these two provinces, Johor, maybe Siak, and Patani, all within the next 5 years or so, if everything goes according to plan. Then we could start working on something up here. I don't know what I'm going to do about Ava, considering everything around them is a vassal. That's really interesting. I think I'm going to start working on a conflict with Lanzang, as much as I've been avoiding that. I think that's what we're just going to come down to. Okay, fabricate claim, Joe Horror. Fabricate claim. Let's just throw in a Digari for giggles. Stop building spy network, stop building spy network. Competition is good for everyone, of course it is. Let's keep improving relations with our vassals for the time being. And declare war for... I guess we'll just fight for that small province right up there. So you go do that, and we're gonna go do that. I think our general died. That's unfortunate. We had a really good admiral for a while, so I guess it's okay. Interesting. I think my navy's about to get destroyed. Gosh dang it. Even now, I cannot maintain a larger... Oh my gosh. Let's just take the manpower hit. I can't afford to lose professionalism. Not in this meta. Oof. Can't do that. Scientific revolution. Very good. I wonder if I can eventually bait those guys into going into that attack. Looks like someone's going for it. So we got 24k. May get a crossing penalty. That's alright. Well, we could just go into here and then... There's no crossing penalty this way. They're outnumbered. I think we've got the superior military. We definitely have a better general. This should be fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They never stood a chance. Just gonna go ahead and do that. I think my vassals are finally showing up to the war. A little late as always. That's okay. Rebels successful. Oh gosh, Cambodian separatists? Where'd you guys come from? Alright, maybe we're not going to really get the outcome we want from this conflict. Or at least we might have to back out a little bit sooner. Naval tradition, screw it, whatever. We don't have that great of a navy to begin with. I'm gonna have to start rebuilding my navy soon, or building a competent navy. Maybe just start doing heavy ships. Got a lot of these conflicts, I'm just not coming out on top. But I guess I am doing against multiple nations at a time. And that's not super. Okay. Got that. How close are these guys to making their demands? Not at all, I guess. My vassals are having a hard time dealing with that. That's alright. Just gonna make that work. I think I've made enough gains down here in Malacca that we're just gonna take what we can. I know I wanted to push further into Siak and possibly get them to break their alliance with Batani, but you know what, maybe we'll still go for it. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. You know what, let's just deal with the rebels first, maybe we'll still be able to do this. I just don't want to drag it out too long and end up losing a whole bunch here. I'll take that base production. I've already eaten through all my manpower anyway. What more can I lose today? Do I even have a competent heir? Not bad at all. Doesn't matter. They always die. That's... I think I'm okay with that. 454? I'll take it. That could have been much worse. Okay. Yeah, I don't see this going much better anyway. Maybe I could take that little ditzy island. Perfect. Malacca, Lanzang, Patani, Mike Droid, Coalition. That's okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. War reparations. You don't want to pay those? That's... How much we got to lower this by? Okay. That looks good to me. They're still allies. King died. Alright. Got a much better leader this time around, though. I'm getting to the point where I think I'm just technologically backwards compared to everyone around me. Yeah, they've got the military advantage now. Champa's more military advanced than me. They're, ooh. They've got an 8. That's a good vassal. I like them. Got some people up here in green. Wow. 886, Jaunpur, Assam. Some of these guys are actually staying up on tech. I wonder if they're, no, they're not even within the institution range. It's starting to make its way through the Middle East, though, so perhaps soon we'll be blessed by the Renaissance. Just not anytime soon. Not soon enough, anyway. Let's start figuring out what we can do about Lansang. Mamluks and Ava are now more professional than I am. That's just sad. Total military. I'm in the top 7 worldwide. Wow. Go Ayatuya. Doing good. Although I think this only includes nations I know about, because I feel like France should be up there. Yeah. Army losses. Please tell me I'm in the top 5 at least. Nah, top 10. Acceptable, acceptable. Let's go look at this. Lanzang, where are you at? Lanzang has a military of 15,000. Okay. And Pegu? 12,000, so that's 27,000. And that's, oh my gosh, that's not including 7,000 here, 5,000 there. That's 39,000 soldiers that I'm going to have to deal with. And I've got a small 24k. I could try popping in there and taking those out really early in the war. Ideally, I should be able to send like... If I can get up to like 35,000, I think I could win this, because I could just slap 10,000 here, get them out, 10,000 there, get them out, and then maybe slip in the rest right into Pegu to prevent them from pushing out here, because that's another 12,000 out of the war. That basically leaves Lanzang free to just pillage the countryside. If I'm able to build up enough gold over the next decade or so, I can start building fortresses out here to prevent them from expanding too far into my territory too quickly. Cambodian separatists, stop declaring independence. You don't deserve it. Send you up there. Autonomous rebel suppression. Maha corrupts army reforms. Gain stability. 300 military power. I'm going to take the 300 military power, I think. That's going to be finest of horses. Oh, only the finest of horses for our armies. Naval ambitions. Wait a minute, where are you going? Go here. Hey, steak. Nani? Are you just gonna play as Nepal when we play tomorrow? You don't want to play as Nipple? Ooh, there it is. I told you about this yesterday. There's literally a country just called U. Just the letter U, and there it is. U, the chiefdom. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Best country. Oh god, why are they separating over there? That's the worst possible spot. This is why I need war with Lanzang. I need to start converting people to my religion too. There's just so much going wrong in this nation. Corruption is high. I thought I chose the one that didn't cause me to lose, but you know what? Sure. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay, we're back down to 0 stability. Very good, very good. It's not very good. It's not very good at all. Malaccan separatists. I'm just gonna like... Ooh, I can change culture? Yeah, take that. And then we're gonna give you some harsh treatment just because we can. And we're gonna start sending these guys down. And then we got Johori to worry about. Where is Johori? That's the one down there. Okay. All the rebels should be in this peninsula. So I'm just going to slap you with autonomous suppression. Just so I don't have to worry about it too much. Wow, Pegu's actually friendly to me? That's kind of weird. I wonder how bad it would be if I vassalized them. I feel like I'd get a lot of slap back from that. Start going for these guys. You know, I'm going to break off my alliance with Daviet. I don't think they serve a purpose anymore. So that's going to give us a truce, I believe, for 5 years. That's not bad at all. Just as they asked for a royal marriage, too. Denied. I think you spelt Vaseline wrong. You spelt it right. That's even more concerning. Speaking of, the stream was brought to you by... It actually wasn't. Please don't sue. I'm just a young lad with dreams. My knees aren't that great. But oh no, Queen Regency. It does need a capital letter. Respect the capitalism. And I mean that in 2 different ways, Steak. Steak, my country's falling apart. What do you recommend? Vaseline? I think Vaseline will start holding this thing together. I don't even know. Maintain. And there's Johori. Use caution. Why are these guys not liking me? Annex vassal, aggressive expansion, they force vassalized us. My god, you're still going on about that? It's been like 14 years. Placate local rulers. Grant province. I think we'll just have to be patient with them. I do want to annex them next, because then I can start going with Daviet. I thought I threatened you to stop declaring war on your neighbors. Oh. I could go for it now, I guess, while they're at war with Daviet. And Daviet's entire army is still around, currently sitting in Tangu. The issue is I think the war is probably... Attacker against Avian. Yeah, he's got +8. So he's winning the war right now. I could swing in and try taking out Kangtung. Or just start besieging a lot of these provinces back here. I got 7,000 there. I don't know where my other vassal is. Maybe he just disbanded his entire army because they seem to be doing stuff like that that's just really brilliant. I just don't want to get into a war I'm going to lose really hard. Especially with manpower being this low right now. So... might just have to take this one. And let Dai Viet lose some land to Lanzang. But I don't want them to. I just don't think I can stop them. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think manpower might be just too low, actually. That's what I've been doing in Malacca. I mean, it's kind of working. Yeah, I don't have any manpower right now. I've used it all. Like, as much as I want this war, I cannot afford it. I'm more so annoyed that I did threaten them to stop expanding, but they seem to be ignoring that. Everywhere. Ancient burial grounds of my future people. Ayutthaya wills it. Shoot, man. If my manpower wasn't so low, I think this wouldn't be an issue. I'd just go for it. For now, I'm just have to keep, like, slowly penetrating my way down here and making gains. I'll send that warning again after this. Okay, Tanggu got knocked out of that war. Which could make this interesting because... no, they're still vassals, dang it. Well, actually... that'd be Ava and Kale. I might be able to just knock them real quick. Ava and Kale, let's take a look at that. Because... okay, Ava's got 11,000 forces. And Kale's got 8,000, so we're talking about 19,000 soldiers, plus 5,000. I think I could just knock them right out. Kale's kind of a big blob, but I do have the advantage. Besides being really low on manpower right now, so if I can slip in here while they currently aren't allied to Pegu, I do think we're in a very good state. Because if I can actually get in a war with Ava, I might be able to start stealing some of those tributaries or just setting them free, which is going to make this a whole lot easier up here. It looks like Lanzang just absorbed all of Dai Viet. And that... yeah. Well, I'll join a coalition against him. Someone's gotta. I don't even know where it is. It's been so long. How do you feel about Hots being dead, Steak? I mean, I'm already one of the only 3 players playing the game. I'm just hoping now that they're not doing a, like, competitive scene for the game, that they might just work on the fun aspects of the game, and we'll see more heroes like Cho'Gall. Because that's what I really enjoyed. They don't make weird heroes like Murky and Cho'Gall and Abathur anymore. They just do really streamlined, meta-changing heroes. They did put the nail in the coffin, there's no doubt about that. There was nothing that was even delicate about what they did. Especially since they, like, pissed off their entire, like, most of their competitive player base. I don't want to say their entire competitive player base, but a lot of the people who were participating in HGC or Heroes of the Dorm, they were being led on at BlizzCon and even before then. That's like, oh yeah, 2019 is going to be a great year for you, blah, blah, blah. And at BlizzCon itself, they actually held an event called the Crucible, where they were having new players come together so that they can actually make teams for competitive events like HGC and Heroes of the Dorm. So even at BlizzCon, a month before they made a decision that they made the announcement that they're going to, like, cut the competitive scene, they were still leading these people on that this was going to be a great year for them, such and such. It's like, some of these competitive players make a living off this, though, so, like, this affects their livelihood and stuff like that. And it's not even talking about, like, the streamers and the content makers and whatever else. Like, Blizzard just screwed over a whole bunch of people with the announcement, and it's not exactly the kind of thing you want to do when you're trying to expand a game's player base. Like, they just hurt the longevity of the game immensely, and I don't know where the fuck it's gonna go from here, honestly. It's a silly idea they had. I think HOTS could still be a decent game if they just worked on the fun aspects. Like, I think if they, like I was saying, if they did more Murkies, more Abathurs, more Cho'Galls, they might be able to fill that niche slot in the MOBA community for players who just want to have that fun. Like, it doesn't have to be competitive because it's a MOBA. Like, they can just have the fun MOBA, you know? The one that's not about, like, doesn't have to worry about who's the best micro or got the highest APM. Just have fun. Make it a fun stream game. Make it a fun game to talk about and stuff. And that in itself can actually build up a player base that supports the game. But I think by forcing the competitive scene so much, they set a certain expectation for the game that they could not fulfill. But then again, I could just be talking out of my ass. What is going on here? Die Vieten? Wait, what's this? Oh! What's going on here? Lan Zhang and Pegu have gone to war with each other. What is going on? What is this war even? Well, I mean, people are jumping ship at this point because Blizzard just said that the game's dead. It's a very valid reaction, honestly. Can you blame anyone? I mean, I'm going to keep playing the game because I like the game. That's that. I think that's all it has to be. I want these Linguini special separatists to pop up already so I can just... Oh. It's these guys again, never mind, I can deal with that. You know, would you though? Like, would you actually? Because all my friends at one point were playing Dota 2 or League, and I just couldn't get into them. Like, I don't like them mechanically. Heroes of the Storm provided something that was different, and it was actually enjoyable at a core level. I think the biggest issue I had with the Dota-esque games is every single one of them was trying to be a clone of one another. They were all trying to be Aeon of Strife, which was what, yeah, I mean, Aeon of Strife was the first one. Dota was trying to be Aeon of Strife. Dota 2 was trying to be Dota. League of Legends is trying to be Dota 2. Smite's trying to be League of Legends. Whatever. They've all got the same base concept. You know, if you attack a hero under a tower, you get aggro from that tower. You have items to build up your heroes. Everyone's pretty much the same. There's not a huge amount of individuality. What Heroes did by implementing the talent system instead of items and actually having each character have their own unique talent system made them feel so much more unique rather than being like, oh, we have Axe on our team and he bought... I don't even know Dota 2. Yeah, I don't even know Dota 2 items to make this actual, like, talk, but, you know, he buys the Heart of Tarask, you know? Axe buys the Heart of Tarask. But any other hero on your team could buy Heart of Tarask, too. It's just a boring, generic approach to where all the heroes are kind of just the same because of that. The only thing that sets them apart is their 4 abilities, if including their ult and their trait, whatever that might be. So, am I taking land from Sukhothai? Do I want to take land from Sukhothai? I think I might just give them the claim. Screw it, I'll take it. HOTS is weird because people think you can't carry, but you can. It's just you're not carrying in, like, the predictable sense where, like, you're a level 12 hero while everyone else is level 3 or whatever because your lane got won so hard. In Heroes of the Storm, you carry by having the most impact on the match. And now they're allies again. God damn it, did I actually miss my opportunity for this? I hate myself. So... I'm assuming I still might be able to, like, make some gains off this, because they should be recovering from war. Like, what are we looking at here? This is Pegu. They've got 1,300 manpower, 10,000 in the field. I think I might be able to just knock them out of the war immediately and then just worry about Lansing, which also has a pretty small amount right now. But should be fine. We're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna go for it. We're gonna go fucking ham. I might live to regret this. We're just gonna go so ham right now that if I lose this, I'm just gonna uninstall or something, you know? Okay. Recall you. Declare war. Take Murtabon. Yeah. I don't have a general. I hope you're a good general. That's a pretty good general. Take. Mercantilism is always right. Let's see what we can do over here. That's screwed. Why do my vassals always do this shit? It annoys me to no end. Like, hey, there's 12,000 soldiers. I'm sure my 5,000 beat it. They just feed down mid all game. What are we looking at? Well, as long as my vassals keep, like, poking them down here and there, I think we'll be fine. This is my best opportunity to actually make gains on Lansang and Pegu. And once this conflict's over, I think I can go back to ranting about Heroes of the Storm. I'm just like so involved in this because I don't want to mess up my first and only opportunity possibly for making this work. All right, I think I got Pegu knocked out of the war at least. Of course, they destroyed my navy. Okay, very good. So Pegu's out of the picture. That means we just have to gang up on Lansang at this point. We're out of manpower, so we're gonna have to do our engagements pretty carefully here. And they're besieging our capital right now, so... Screw it. So we got 26,000. Those are going to arrive in Korat first. They're going to arrive on 13th of January? No, 9th. And we'll get here on the 10th. So this will give us some fighting advantage. Or we'll outnumber them. And those won't reinforce until the 13th, so we should have 3 days of fighting before we're significantly outnumbered. Screw it, let's just go for it. Very good. Start taking these back. Did they actually take that? Nice. Nice. I think shortly after this war, I'm gonna wrap up this stream and try picking this up tomorrow. Because I gotta say, this is like mentally taxing on me right now. This is one of those achievements that's just like so fine and like you have to win almost every war you get into because if you take too long, you're just going to get fucked by a larger power from outside. And we're actually making really good gains on Lanzang right now. If I can take some of his provinces, that's going to make up for losing Dai Viet. And then I should make really big gains on Pegu. Like, no doubt about that. Ooh, fuck it, yeah, manpower. God dang it, we just lost the big province. He's not even willing to give up those. Okay, so we're gonna have to draw this war out a little bit longer then. I mean, we're low on manpower, but he's got to be going too. Let's see here. Pegu. My brain's melting. It's Lanzang. Lanzang. Where is Lanzang? Does Lanzang exist? Is Lanzang nation? Lanzang. They have no manpower too, so we have the numbers advantage right now. We just got to keep pushing them. Ooh, if we can lock them into that movement, that's a big ambush right there. The achievement I am working towards is the White Elephant achievement, where you have to play as Ayutthaya and capture the entirety of Indochina and Burma. Okay, thank you, vassals, for not fucking reinforcing me. And then going in 2,000 to 10,000. Brilliant. I was having really bad engagements at this point. Reckless, really. I'm still in a much better position than they are. Like, I don't have to make huge gains in this war, I just want to get, like, a couple of these provinces down here, so at least my two parts of my nation are connected, you know? So, I can get at least one right now. And honestly, one might just be fine, because war score 23%. Oh my god, I can't even humiliate you. I'm gonna suffer pretty big penalties over here anyway. I do want the war to go long enough to humiliate, but I think I'm just taking too many losses at this point. And I think I should just call it off. So I will take that land, and I'll take a couple of your shekels. Actually, you know what? Let's see where this siege goes. It's going faster than I expected. Unless my vassals start feeding down mid. How are they doing? Did they win that? It looks like a win. That's a win if I ever saw one. Okay, naval drill. We must donate to the poor. Screw it, my prestige is ruined. I could use a little bump here and there. Okay. 62%. Good, you let me humiliate you. That's all I wanted from this. And I'll take 66 ducats. Very good. And Pegu. Ideally, I want to take those two, but probably a lot more. I just don't want to get into a huge coalition issue. Pegu, Lanzang, Malacca, Prom, and Ava. Ava's the worst part of that. I don't want to go against Ava. How much of this can I actually take without pissing off Ava? Just get rid of that. Okay, that works for me, because Pegu and Lanzang are already allied. And then Malacca's a non-issue. They have 2 provinces, I think. Like, Ava's got all these tributary states, though, which I don't know if they're obligated to assist them in war, but I don't think so. So maybe that's not a big issue if I just take Dagon now. I guess I could take this one. That doesn't piss off Ava. Dagon does, though. Okay. I could do that. Of course you're going to pay me war reparations after this. And I'm going to take all your shekels. Okay. That went really well. Looming disaster. My country is going to collapse and burn because of this peasant war, I'm sure. I'm just going to... I don't even know. Your corruption is growing. Good. I hope these peasants just go, yep, go invade Prom. Good peasants. Stay off my land. The Prom is already a tributary state. Kale's going crazy. And Bengal still got that one province right there, like... Who are my rivals? Orissa and Lanzang? Okay. I doubt it, but if I can build a... If I can get a claim on Bengal, I would love to just take that territory right now, because that'll avoid any conflict with Orissa. That's one of my biggest rivals in this right now. Lanzang is... I think Pegu's pretty much a non-issue at this point, with being only 3 provinces left. They're not going to be able to maintain a steady army. Lanzang's still going to be decent. I mean, I only took 1 from them. But they just lost their strongest ally, so they're going to be going against me and my vassal, which... I don't know. I don't think the Steam sale happens until noon. Are you going to buy Europa Universalis 4? It's an alright game. I don't know if I'd recommend it to anyone. Europa Universalis 4? I highly recommend Hearts of Iron 4. That's a much better game. It's like Papers, Please, except you're the guys who do the shooting. Oh my god, this just got so much sweatier. Bengal is invading Pegu for me. We could have a four-way if Ouroboros would get it, but I don't know if he wants to. He's kind of flaky. We could do a pretty good stream with that, though. I used to hear stories about people who would have like 16-player Hearts of Iron games. That just sounds awesome. Ooh, Pegu Revolt, 21,000, yikes. I have to actually start buying some mercenaries. A lot of mercenaries. Or we could just all be democratic and just sit in a corner of the map. Oh man, did I just lose to Separatists? Oh good, I won. I was about to be really upset. I'm gonna hire this missionary strength advisor. I hope that I could use that to start unifying my nation, because we were kind of cucked on that front. Oh, Khamir's about to demand. How about we give you harsh treatment instead of freedom? Yeah, how about that? Okay, innovative ideas, finished. I need 2 more for quality ideas. We're just gonna swap right into military focus because we desperately need it. Parak's right down there. How much are they doing? 1.2. I wonder if this will be enough to suppress them. Maybe not. Not enough. Let's just do this. Okay, so Pirakan is good. Malakan's gonna pop up soon. I have a lot of separatists that are just gonna come up at the same time. That's an issue. Maybe I should stop paying to root out corruption, because that's costing a lot of money. You know, we'll just, yeah, we're just gonna let the corruption kind of like fester for a little bit. Where are these gonna pop up? Okay, I don't think we're gonna be able to stop that, so we're just gonna have to kill them when they come. There goes our stability. Cambodians I need to keep giving the harsh treatment. Stay down. Cambodians are going to be a huge issue. Here, have more harsh treatment just in case. These guys are outraged at me. They would make such a nice vassal, though, if they weren't. Maybe I could start cooking them into that. Manage attitude. I want to be friendly. Screw it. Wish these Moluccans would pop up already. Because I gotta go deal with the Cambodians soon. Okay, there goes those guys. Go get them. I might have to do something about Siak. They might eventually get too powerful and start getting ideas about pushing north. Oh, what is this? Dai Viet broke free from Lan Xang. My biggest threat has just lost a lot of its power. And look at this. Who is this? Mon Phuong. You would make the best little vassal, wouldn't you? Come here. Here's an alliance. Wow, this is great. I'm going to send you a warning real quick. And I'm going to start improving relations with you. So that'll prevent him from popping up doing that shit again. This is looking good. This is looking really good. Bengal just took a lot of Pengu's territory. Or Pengu. Oh my gosh. If my manpower wasn't utterly, like, decimated right now, be in such a good spot. Johori, what are you looking at? I wonder if I could just, like, suppress you by my sheer military presence. Revolt. Hindu zealots. I'm sure they can deal with it. I'm surprised that he even showed up to his stream, honestly, let alone said things. He did it to my Sims stream, too. He's truly one of the best people. I appreciate him whenever he comes out. Especially because I don't do this on a regular schedule. I kind of just, like, decide I'm going to stream arbitrarily, and it's usually a decent length stream. And I don't think it's poor quality, but it's the lack of consistency that makes me a failure, you know? That's what my mom always said. Okay, let's proclaim a guarantee to Muan Huang. What else can I do to speed this up? Royal marriage, you betcha. Well, I appreciate you decided to come out regardless. It made my night, okay, man? I appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. Excuse me. Okay, looks like they're freshly suppressed. I'm gonna go try and suppress those Cambodians in Tuakwamo and Phuen. Oh god, these are the worst names. Okay, that's Phuen and Tuakwamo seems to be that one, which makes sense why it has some upset. I mean, we're converting them. I honestly didn't know you streamed. I'll have to pop in once in a while. I need to just start streaming on like a regular schedule, and maybe I can get somewhere with this. I think this Europa Universalis stream went fairly well, considering this is the first time I ever streamed this game. I already said this to Steak earlier. It's like I feel like if I ever were to stream this game, it was going to go badly because I feel like it'd be boring to watch. But I think I found a good balance of gameplay and narration that's kind of kept it going. Display anguish to Mesk. Mesk is good people. We should all stream more. I did have 6 people at one point. When I was doing Darkest Dungeon, that was like the most popular stream I ever had. I think at one point I peaked out at 14 people. Very good, we've crushed all the rebels in this country. Begone thoughts. There you go, and drill. I'm still losing money. I thought getting rid of all those mercenaries would help. I think we just can't afford to be drilling right now, so we're just going to drop military maintenance to its lowest point. We're actually going to... I want to reduce inflation, but I can't afford to. I'm going to stream the Subnautica expansion pack when that drops, for whatever that's worth. I mean, I have like a 20-minute video of me on YouTube just crying because of a Reaper Leviathan because I have a Fare of the Ocean. I feel like if you're Polish, though, you're obligated to have a Fare of the Ocean because, like, they're mostly landlocked besides that whole Baltic Sea thing. And the only reason they have access to the Baltic is because of World War I granting them the port of Danzig, you know. But we don't talk about that because that's what started World War II, because Hitler really wanted the port of Danzig. Such as it is. I should start improving the development of my capital, perhaps. Just want to get one more idea. You're from Romania? Or Czechoslovakia? Czechoslovakia. Well, I guess you didn't really say how south. You could be from Africa. I mean, technically, if you go south far enough from Poland, you're gonna end up in Ireland. Your mom's side got, like, conquered. You should tell her that sometime. America's not even a real place. Was she late to World War II? Well, I've got bad news for you because I'd like to reveal at this point that the only other person to stream is your mom. She knows what you said now, Steak. But she may be so dense that she may not realize the impact of what you said. Stop doing that. Yeah. Yes, he is. And I'm your father, so I get to tell you who your mom is, so... There was 4 viewers for a bit. They finally dropped out after, like, an hour. Props to them for sticking in that long. I guess this is going late. It's 1 AM already. I didn't realize it got that late. Alas. All the more reason I should wrap this stream up soon. I said I was going to, but, like... I want to get my country into a stable place before I do. Yeah, I don't know. I at least feel safe at this point, you know? Like... Lanzang is no longer a threat. Pegu is no longer a threat. Malacca's not a threat. Siak could become a threat, but they probably won't. Brunei, I don't think has any ambitions in Indochina. Like, nothing can stop me at this point besides Kale or Orissa. But Kale could always stop me. I think that's the first time he called me Cosmo instead of Rainbow, so props to you for getting it right for the first time in 20 years. It's been 84 years. Depends. What are we doing in Hots of Iron? Oof. Does Bengal even have allies? Is that a thing Bengal would do? They're allied with Pasai? Alright. Mr. Lolly, have you actually played Europa Universalis 1? Because I was memeing on it when I first started up my stream. I'm not convinced that there even was one. Like, I think they just started at Europa Universalis 3 and went from there. See, I don't think anyone's played it. I don't think it actually existed. I do think they just started with Europa Universalis 3 and moved on to 4. Because... this is actually such a good game. I absolutely adore this game. Like, their other ones are pretty good. Like, Crusader Kings 2 is fun. Stellaris is freaking amazing. Hearts of Iron 4 is pretty good. But Europa Universalis 4 is always going to get me coming back because the gameplay is just that much more complex than the rest of them that it's rewarding. Like, taking the time to actually observe your enemies, watching when they're going to war and stuff like that, and abusing it. And I don't know. I've had a lot of fun with the stream tonight and just playing this game in general. And the company's been good, so I appreciate you guys coming out. 10 out of 10. Best people. 10 out of 10. Alright, we got a slow amount of provincial unrest. That's fine. We could boost. Oh, we finally got it. Okay. After completely abandoning our research and probably falling way behind, we're at military 6. They're 8. They're 9. Oh my god. They're 9. After all of this, we finally got our policy of modern firearm techniques, which will give us 20% military infantry power. So, that being said, let's bump this military. Oh god, we can't even afford our military. I'm at a point where I kind of just want to absorb Champa, just for their income, because, well, then again I got this, so let's just core all provinces. Am I that broke? I don't want to core. I don't want to make that a state. That's a fine state right there. That's a fine state right there. That's fine. Okay, all these states should then put us in a good enough spot that we could, Sorry, who is this? Oh, I don't want to lose my missionary. Shoot. He's holding this place together. Okay, time for war with Bengal. God damn it, they allied with Jaunpur. Isn't Jaunpur one of the most technologically advanced? They are. Okay, there goes my plan of feasting on Bengal. Lanzang is easy picking. Pegu. Wow. Pegu looks pretty good right now. I can go to war with them next month. John is poor because he works for Microsoft technical support. Any other questions? And I just got a leader with 3 siege. That's pretty awesome. Ooh, looming disaster. I love when those happen. Is it an aristocratic coup? Okay, what can we do about that? They have 100 influence. How the hell did that happen? Gains 10 influence. What am I doing? Estates, okay. Nobles. Can I, like... Is that Merchant's Guild or is that the Monastic Order? Okay. Can I just like take away one of these? This will decrease their loyalty by 16% and influence by 4.7. 5.6. Okay, they're no longer powerful enough to form a coup. And also, I mean, they lose 15 loyalty, gain manpower. Perfect. They're disloyal. That's fine. We Gucci. Pegu has no allies left in the world. You should buy Europa Universalis 1 and stream it just so I can laugh at how bad it is. I'm kind of wondering if Jaunpur will actually be able to even help Bengal in their conflict, because Orissa I don't think is friendly to them, so they might just be in a situation where they won't even be able to send their troops down to Bengal, so I won't have to worry about them in that war. I think I'd feel a little bit safer though if I knew that they were in an existing war with another country, because that makes Bengal free picking for me. So we're gonna wait on that and then maybe just swoop in and take Bengal when the opportunity presents itself. You're my vassal, that's right. Mong Mao still belongs to Ava. Kale is just blobbing up, but I think those are just really big. They are just really big, okay. Okay. I think with that I'm going to call it, because it's a little bit after 1 a.m. now, and I think the game's in like a stable enough spot that I'm not worried about like coming back to a disaster. Like we're positive on money. I think we're making money every month. Let's find out. Yes, we're making money every month. We're slowly converting everyone to the proper religion, so our religious unity is going to stay high. Lanzang is no longer a problem. Pegu's been removed from the picture. Bengal is just, we're just waiting on Jaunpur to get into a war. Ava might be an issue because of Kale. Daiviet's going to be easy. That's a vassal, that's a vassal, that's a vassal. I think this achievement's as good as got right now. I pretty much have 70 years to wrap it up before, like, Europe begins interfering. But, I think for now we're good. I don't think there's any threats besides just collapsing from within from expanding too quickly. I think that's the only thing that can go wrong at this point. I mean, I'm a little behind on military tech. I'm one of the most backward countries in the entire world, it looks like, but I think I'll be able to slip right back in. Let's see here. Renaissance has still not made its way out to us yet. Colonialism takes forever. We're not on printing press yet. But I do have cheaper technology because everyone's ahead of me, so I should be able to catch up on military and administrative tech now that these two are finished and we got our 20% military power, or infantry power from that policy. So, yeah, I think this went really well. I think this was a good stream. I think we accomplished a lot. I think should be able to finish it tomorrow. and I'm gonna have to find a new thing to stream after that. Maybe I'll go for another achievement. Maybe I'll do the achievement where you play as Awesome. I'm sure there's an achievement for that. Maybe just playing as them gets you an achievement. Who knows? It's a wacky, wild world. So I'm just gonna this run until I get my first autosave, and there it is, and I can exit out of this and end the stream. So, thanks for coming out, boyos. It's been good. It's been real. It's been a little too real. Let's do this again soon. Take it easy.